on this 2010 to 2017 Honda Accord with the 2. For gas engine, P0497 is an EVAP system low purge flow code. In plain terms, the PCM may be commanding purge flow and not seeing the expected system response. The vehicle may simply have a warning light with little or no drivability complaint, but the diagnostic path can involve possible purge hose restrictions, purge valve operation, FTP sensor response, EVAP canister port blockage, and connector or terminal issues around the EVAP components and PCM. Treat this as a flow and response diagnosis, not a parts guess. Before clearing anything, record the captured data and any onboard snapshot. Start with the basic system checks so you know you are not chasing a connection or setup problem. For this procedure, have the HDS available, along with a vacuum pump/gauge rated 030 in Hg and a vacuum/pressure gauge rated 04 in Hg. Turn the ignition on or select on mode with the engine start/stop button. Clear the DTC with the HDS. Then run the EVAP test from the inspection menu and choose the function test. If the result is OK, treat it as an intermittent failure for now. The system is OK at that moment, so concentrate on poor connections or loose terminals at the FTP sensor, EVAP canister purge valve, EVAP canister vent shut valve, and PCM. If the result is not OK, the failure is duplicated, and you move into the purge flow checks. Turn the ignition OFF. Check the EVAP canister purge line between the throttle body and the EVAP canister for a poor connection, blockage, or damage. If the line is OK, continue testing. If it is not OK, reconnect or repair the purge line, then verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. Next, separate the vacuum hose from the EVAP canister purge valve, and separate the vacuum hose from the purge line at the EVAP canister side. Connect the T-fitting, vacuum gauge, and vacuum pump/gauge to the hose. Turn the ignition on. Apply about 2 kPa 0.6 in Hg, 15 mm Hg of vacuum to the hose. With the HDS, go back into the EVAP test and command EVAP PCS on through the single solenoid control. The question here is simple. Does the vacuum release immediately? If it does, continue to the FTP sensor performance check. If it does not, go to the purge valve check. Command EVAP PCS off with the HDS. Disconnect the vacuum hose from the EVAP canister purge valve, then connect the T-fitting, vacuum gauge, and vacuum pump/gauge to the purge valve. Apply about 2 kPa 0.6 in Hg, 15 mm Hg of vacuum to the hose, then command EVAP PCS on. If the vacuum releases immediately, the purge valve is OK. At that point, check for a blockage in the purge line between the purge valve and the EVAP canister, then verify the repair. If the vacuum does not release immediately, replace the EVAP canister purge valve, then verify the repair. There is also an engine side purge line check in this diagnostic path. Use it only when the earlier testing clearly leads you there. If that handoff is not clear, pause, recheck the path you were on, and do not guess. For this check, connect the vacuum pump/gauge to the vacuum hose, start the engine, and let it idle. If there is vacuum, the engine side purge line is OK, and the next check is the FTP sensor. If there is no vacuum, check for a blockage in the purge line between the EVAP canister purge valve and the intake manifold. Then verify the repair. For the FTP sensor performance check, turn the ignition OFF. Remove the FTP sensor while keeping its connector connected. Connect the T-fitting, vacuum pump/gauge, and vacuum pump to the FTP sensor. Turn the ignition on, then check and record the FTP sensor reading in the HDS data list. Slowly apply about 1.3 kPa 0.4 in Hg, 10 mm Hg of vacuum to the hose and watch FTP sensor in the data list. If the value changes, the FTP sensor is OK. Then check for a blockage at the EVAP canister port and verify the repair. If the value does not change, replace the FTP sensor, then verify the repair. Keep verification separate from the testing. Turn the ignition OFF. Install the parts in the reverse order of removal, then then turn the ignition on. Reset the PCM with the HDS, do the PCM idle learn procedure, and run the EVAP function test again. If the result is OK, troubleshooting is complete. If the result is not OK, check for poor connections or loose terminals at the FTP sensor, EVAP canister purge valve, and EVAP canister vent shut valve. Then return to the beginning of the diagnostic path. If the final connection item is unclear, do not invent it. Pause, recheck the earlier diagnostic path, and avoid guessing. The takeaway: P0497 is diagnosed by proving the purge path can flow, proving the purge valve responds to command, and proving the FTP sensor changes when vacuum is applied. Work the branches in order, repair only what the tests support, and always finish with the EVAP function test. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.